Hello and welcome to my Pick Three at a Glance family. And viewers and new subscribers, I welcome you. This is Mo Money Terry from St. Louis, Missouri. Here again, doing the 1-1 rundown on the 22 numbers that makes up all 1,000 numbers at a glance. All 1,000 numbers at a glance. Where we don't need the tic-tac-toes, the date sums, the grids, the flips, and the multiple 100 different rundowns they have out there to find a number that's supposed to come the next day. What we do is we track down the actual 1,000 numbers, so at any time we know why we playing a number. And if you don't know why you're playing a number, don't play it. So with that being said, everything is in that system. You don't have to do the rundowns and the different flips and the different grids and tic-tac-toes, because by watching the actual 1,000 rundowns, the 1,000 numbers, you always know why you're playing your numbers. And with them 22 numbers and the 22 columns, you can track and know why you're playing the 1,000, like I said. So here we have the tutorial session for November the 1st, 2022. Happy November, everybody. Happy November. And what I do is I always take the number that fell prior on the strategy session and do the 1-1 rundown on that number. And we find out where that number is in the 22 on the 22 columns. And then we just mark it off. And that way, like I say, we always know where the number is and where it fell. And anytime we always know why we playing a number. Okay, so October the 31st's number, 2022, was the 294. All right, and I always like to let everybody know the last time that 294 came out. And here it is right here, October the 23rd, 2022. So that's a repeat number, all right, in the same month. And you have that. That's why I say you have to track these numbers to know how they're rotating and how they're playing at a glance. Because actually, for all these 1,000 numbers, on an average, it takes 3 to 4 years for these numbers to rotate out. So trying to guess what number you're going to hit the next day is the way the lottery wants you to do it. They don't want you to take time to track down these numbers and see what the front pair, the back pairs, and the single pairs and the numbers are actually doing. Once you do that, you can strategize. You can make smart decisions by tracking the actual numbers. All right. So what we have here, this 294, is a straight, and it can come 6 different ways throughout the year, or throughout the 3 years. All right. So you got the 294 the way it came. You got the 249. You got the 429. You got the 492. You got the 924, and you have the 942. Okay. Those are 6 different ways this number could come in 3 years, maybe 4 years, unless they come back just like they did. All right. So what we're going to do is do the 1-1 rundown on it. And when we do the 1-1 rundown on the number, we're going to find out what column it is off these 22 numbers that I said we do the 1-1 rundown on, that makes up the actual 1,000 numbers that you can see right here on the glance. Okay. So what we have here, we're going to do the 1-1 rundown. This is the only rundown you'll ever need with Pick Three at a Glance. It's the most effective and the most powerful rundown, because it gives you those 22 numbers that you can do the 1,000 numbers and their combinations and check them at any time and put the power back in your hands. No guesswork on none of your numbers. You'll always know when they're playing and what columns they didn't fell off and everything. And that's helped make me a much better player. That will help you be a better player too. All right. Now here's you add 1 to the 2. All right. And you'll get 3. All right. You add 1 to 3, you get 4. And all you're really doing is counting down. You're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2. When you get the 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, you're done. Same here. You're going to add 1 to 9. 1 to 9 is 10. But you don't use the 1. You only use the 0. And all you're going to do is count straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you get the 9 at the bottom and the 9 at the top, you're done. All right? Same here. You add the 1 to 4, you're going to count straight down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what you're going to do when you get to the 9? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 at the bottom, 4 at the top, you're done. Simple rundown strategy. Everything will always be in numerical order. You have different rundowns that you can use. You can use the 317, the 927, the 465. They can make this rundown number everything but zeros. I'm telling you. They ain't see no 000 rundown number up here. Because you ain't gonna be able to get that. Because you won't have nothing to add to it too. But this here is the most effective. And it's the only one, because if you change these numbers, you're going to have a lot of adding. So I keep it all simple, okay? And it's the most powerful. And as we go along, we're going to see why it's so powerful. Now, what we're doing is we're looking for this 294 off of these columns we run now. And here we have the columns here and the numbers. These are the base numbers. They all in numerical order, simple numerical order. 012, 013, 014, 015, 016, 017, 018, 024, 025, 026, 027, 037. These are the 12 numbers and the 6-way combination that they come. And then we have the doubles. They can only come 3 different ways. And doubles are numbers with 2 like numbers, like 001, 002, 003, 004, 005, triple zeros. 011, 022, 033, 044. All right? That's the 10 numbers. These 22 numbers make up the 1,000 numbers with the 1-1 rundown. So we're looking for where this 294 is and what column it is. So what we have, when you do the 1-1 rundown, one of these base numbers will always be in that rundown. Okay? And that base number is 027. 027 is under column 11, 027. But when you go to 027, that this 294 going to show up as 249. Same number, just one of the 6-way combinations that come in. See? The 249, the 027. By you changing and down here is 072. Same number. It's 072. Same number. And it's in column 11, 027. Up here, column 11, 027. So let's go to column 11, find the 027, and find the 249. Column 11, 027, 249. Bam. You're checking it off. At a glance, you can see how many times this number failed. Okay, now since we're doing the 31st number, which was the end of the month, this here tells you that number failed 2 times in the month. All right. Now this here is October's checkoff too, from October. So all these numbers starting with October right here. Now we're into November. And see how at a glance you'll always know where the numbers are? All 1,000 numbers. So how do you get the 1,000 numbers from 22 numbers? All we're doing is taking the 12 numbers that go to the 1-1 rundown on, and you run, say this column right here is 10 numbers, and then come 6 different ways, gives you 60 numbers. Because 6 times 10 is 60 numbers. Each one of these columns are 60 numbers. And you got 12. So right here, 12 times 60 is 720 numbers at a glance with 12 columns. You can check at all times where their numbers at on the straights. Same here with the doubles. They can only come 3 different ways. but it's 10 numbers. 3 times 10, 30. Each one of these columns is 30 numbers. So you got 9 times 30, it'll give you 270, plus the triples can only come one way, and it's only 10 in them. So you got the 720, the 270, it equals 990 numbers at a glance, plus the 10, which is the triples, give you 1,000 numbers. And what you have is 1 in 1,000 odds of winning straight. Okay? These odds will never change. These numbers rotating every year will never change. Each number changing position every year. And by you tracking them, it makes you a better player because you know what they're doing. All right? So, like I said, this here is November. We started with a November sheet. I did 3 sheets. We got November, the next one will be December. So right now you only got 2. But this part of October, November, December. You're going to make a separate sheet for each month. Also with this, I do a yearly sheet that for the whole year, starting from January up to now, I can see what the numbers doing, and I know what numbers are left and how I can look at playing those numbers by law average. And as you're doing that, you're going to see the pattern. And when you see those numbers and the patterns, you're looking at a real pattern. No guesswork, no guess pattern, because you're looking at the real actual numbers and what they're doing. Okay? So here, another powerful thing about that is when the Pick 3 world, you're going to hear about mirrors and opposites. All that is, with the triple zeros here to 499 here on the top numbers, 500 here to 999 for the bottom numbers, is your 1,000 numbers, just cut in half. You got your top numbers on the top and your bottom number and your other numbers on the bottom. And everything in numerical order. Because a 0 can be a 5, 5 can be a 0. 1 can be a 6, 6 can be a 1. 2 can be a 7, 7 can be a 2. 3 can be 8, 8 can be a 3. 4 can be a 9, 9 can be a 4. So if you playing 0, 1, 2, and the lottery play 5, 6, 7, all they did was play your mirror number or your opposite number. If you're playing 7, 8, 9, and the lottery plays 2, 3, 8, all they did was play your opposite number, the top number. And the same with this here. Each one of these columns got the number and its opposite in each one of them columns, all in numerical order. Like here, 0, 1, 2, the opposite number it is 5, 6, 7, or opposite of mirror number. This 1, 2, 3, the odd number of it is 6, 7, 8. At a glance. You never have to worry about where the mirror to any number is. 2, 3, 4, the opposite number is the 2, 3, 4, opposite number is 7, 8, 9. And so on and so forth. The power of that, you always know where the opposite numbers are at a glance. That's why I call it Pick 3 at a glance. The beauty of that, when you're tracking off these individual months and looking at the individual column, you can have a column and you ain't marked in 3 months. That's 90 days. So when you hit, by law average, you're going to know something that next month, got the 4th month, something going to come off that column. And you'll know, because as you go along, you're going to know what numbers are left that you haven't marked off. So if you see that on that 90-day column that you see 0, 1, 2 or 5, 6, 7 haven't hit, them are the 2 numbers you definitely going to play if you don't play the whole column. Me, normally when I hit, depending on how I feel and what numbers I'm playing, I'll play this whole column, 50-cent box or straight box, in 90 days, if it ain't hit 90 days for sure. Because I'm putting money on that column. And if I can't, for sure, I'm going to play the opposite numbers that didn't fall. 0, 1, 2, and the 5, 6, 7, or the 1, 2, 3, and the 6, 7, 8, if it's 4 of them like that. Any number in this opposite didn't play, that's where I put the money in. That's simple. All right? Now, that's the power of this. Now, a reality check for people to think, okay, I'm going to figure out a pattern, hit the numbers, and guess what numbers are coming the next day. Give you a reality check now. You got 1,000 numbers. You got 365 days in a year. If you played a different number every day for that 365 days, you got 635 numbers you ain't gonna guess on or figure out how to hit, because they ain't gonna be there to guess on. That's why I say it takes 3 years for these numbers to rotate out, because this here is almost a third of the 1,000 numbers. You got 1,000 numbers, you got 365 days. That's why you have to track your own numbers. Each individual have to track their own numbers. Midday runs different from evening. Evening run day different from midday. I don't care what other system you're using. If you're not doing this, you're playing a loser's game. Ain't no other way to look at it. Again, you got 1,000 numbers, 365 days in a year. If you play a different number every day, you still got 635 days of numbers you ain't gonna guess up on. 635 numbers you ain't gonna guess up on. I don't care what system you got. Period. Now, same here. Say you take this column of 10 numbers, and you say I'm gonna pay these 10 numbers $10 straight $1 straight every day, or $10 every day. The best you're gonna hit on average, law average, and that's what we play by, is 3 of these numbers straight. If you play them numbers 365 days a year for 10 days. But like I say, you got 3, it adds up, see? 10, that'd be 1,000, 10. It's a third. 3 numbers is a third of the 10. Pretty much, 30%. Simple strategy. That's why you have to track the numbers. So you'll know what numbers to play. And when they mark off, you'll know what numbers left. All right? So if you're a first-time visitor, I got a couple more strategies that I want to show you. A few more strategies I want to show you. They all at a glance, and they're all simple. Just like this one is. But they're all powerful. All powerful. Okay, and if you take time to like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, y'all, appreciate you. Almost close to that 1,000. I'd like to go live, so I can do some lives with everybody that I've talked to. I haven't had a chance to really meet yet, but if we go live, I try to put my face up so you can see me and know me a little bit. But I like to go live so you can throw some comments at me, and I can help you out so we can all be better players. So if you would, just hit that like button. That like button help get the word out quicker from what I understand, hitting the like button and a few comments. But I think the like button really sends, gets your message out. So if you could just show me some love and hit that like button, please. Show Mo Money Terry some love. And I promise you, every day I come out, I'm going to give you my best. Helping make all us better pick 3 players and win better. You know, this is 30 years of experience I got building this and putting this together. And I always tried to wonder how I was going to do it. And God made me get this far to do it. Because, man, I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm blessed. I'm a blessed man, and I'm blessed to share it. And I love helping people. I think that's the best part of this is, I see it as an investment. If you playing and winning, it can't be nothing but an investment. And if you're coming out ahead, life is a gamble. And anytime you're coming out ahead, you're a winner, right? Okay. Here we go. I got the, thank you. Yeah, hit the like button, show me a little love, and I appreciate it. Here's a pair. Single pairs. All right. If you watch that strategy session, the 38 pair ain't failed in 128 days. Ain't no rundown gonna show you that. Ain't no flip gonna show you that. Ain't no nothing gonna show you that unless you tracking the actual numbers. And I think that the longest I done seen a number, well, I done seen 4 months a pair not come out. And man, when it do show up, you know what time it is, right? So I am carrying that 38 pair for Missouri evening draw. And you'll see that same, be able to pick up on that kind of stuff too if you're tracking your own numbers. With this system, it's easy. Okay, here's the pair. Here's strategy number 2. And the way I do that, right here, the 294 that came out is 3 different numbers, so it's going to be 3 pairs. You're going to have the 24 right here. You're going to have the 29 right here. And you're going to mark off the 49 right here. 49. All right? That's one pair. If you got a double, like the 112, you're going to mark off the 11 and the 12. If you get a triple, you're going to mark off the double 2s for the triple. All right, so you make sure you get that pair in, no matter what triple is. And at the end of the month, whatever pair you got left, you're going to carry it over from month to month till they play. And if you want to play a pair, you always can look to see by low average what players ain't played and why you should be playing it. Okay? This here's the same way. Work with the low average. And I want to find out what numbers are cold, and if they're cold, what position they're in. Okay? And when they're cold, so I know how to play it and play it in that position if I'm playing a number with it. Okay, let's see. Like this 294. We're going to check off the 2 on the front, the 9 in the middle, and the 4 on the end, because I got 3 columns here from 0 to 9. And that way, if a pick 3 number come in, I know where to mark it off at. And at the end of the month, whatever number I don't mark off, those the numbers is cold and in what position. So if I'm playing like this 160, and I realize that the 6 here ain't fell on that front end for the whole month when I carry it over, I'm quite naturally looking at playing, depending on your money, but I'm definitely going to look at playing it as 610 and 601 along with the 160, because the likelihood of that 6 coming out on that front end with my number is great. Okay? Same way here. And this here is very powerful. And I was trying to think of a way to help people if they just starting and I want to say they in a crunch where they need to hit. But if you take this front pair, back pair sheet and be true with November and November, December, and January is my best months because I'm playing by low average, so I know what numbers are left. So I know how to track the numbers down, and those are the ones that I hit on. Okay, but here, like the 294 that came, these numbers, top and bottom, are the same. So this 29 here, I'm going to mark off the front, and the 94, I'm going to mark off the back, okay? And the 294, end of the year, whatever pairs is left, I know what to play. And through the year, you're going to know what to play because you're going to start accumulating a pattern in the numbers you rotating over from year to year. You're going to know. You'll be knowing why you're playing any number after that. Here. Say double zeros on the front don't come for that year and double zeros on the back don't come that year. You know what number I'm playing. Triple zeros, right? All year, more than likely. And double zeros, I'm running them all the way down like 001, 00, triple zero, then 001, 002, 003, 004, 005, all the way down like that box, probably most of the year. If ain't no zero fell on the front or the back, and if I hit them straight, I know what I'm doing. Or if I box it, Missouri 50-cent box on a double is $100. Okay. Now, if you're in a crunch, I've been thinking about this, and you want to get out that rat race of trying to find a number that's coming the next day, take this strategy right here. Go all the way back to January and just mark off the front pairs and the back pairs. on all the numbers. Now, it's going to be a little work. It ain't going to be that much because that's all you're doing. You ain't got to do no rundown or none of that. Start tracking just the front pairs and the back pairs. And any of the front pairs and back pairs that's left is the ones you want to mate up. Just like I said. Okay, if you find out, this I'm going to go with. If you find out the 1, 2 front, when you get through doing it, ain't fail, and then you look down here and the 2, 3 back ain't fail, then your number play is 1, 2, 3. And then if by chance you go back and see that the 1, 2, 3 ain't fail all that year, your number you want to look at start playing is 1, 2, 3. Just like that. Because by law of average, it's going to mate up. That's the simplest strategy I can get you on track to stop chasing them numbers is to start finding what front pair and back pair ain't fail all year. And that's worth its weight in gold to somebody. And it ain't going to take you that long to do it because you're just going to go to each number and mark off the front and the back. That's how I hit. Every year I use that method. Okay? Here. Just do this one. Go back, take your time. If you have to take a break off the numbers or if you don't want to take a break, trying to hit them numbers next day, do that. Make this sheet out on long hand. Ain't got to go do nothing fancy. I mean, if you want to put it on a computer, you're good with typing and all that. I ain't. Run them down just like I got them. Go back to January in your state. Mark off all the front pairs and back pairs that's been played. But all pairs ain't left. That's the numbers you want to look. The numbers you're gonna mate up to make your number that you want to play. Especially for this year. Because November, December, and January are my best months using this system right here where the front pair and back pair ain't failed yet. That's a trade secret, y'all. $1 million secret. All right. Through life experience, that's how I got it. Okay. Right here is me mating up my pairs, my doubles, because I wasn't comfortable with what I was seeing with them. I want to make sure at a glance I understood what was going on with them. So here, with the pairs and the mirrors, or the opposites together. Say here is 001 and it's 110 is a pair. There's 556 and the 665 is a pair, and they mirror each other. All right? By them mirroring each other, I know if the pair didn't fall that year or its mirror didn't fall at a glance. So for instance, if the pairs didn't fall or the mirror like the 001 and the 556 didn't fall, I'm carrying that over for the year. Or if that either 4 of these numbers didn't fall at all, I know at a glance those 4 numbers, pairs and opposite did not fall. So I know what pairs I'm carrying over to play for the next year. And if I got 3 columns that don't fall right here, these 3 don't fall, I'm carrying all 3 of them over to the next year because by law of average, you'll see them numbers will fall off them columns. They hadn't failed at all. No guesswork. You always know what numbers you're playing. You always know what doubles you're playing. You always know what singles you're playing. And you will know what triples. You'll see how the triples roll and how often they hit. You can strategize. All right, family. That's it. Yeah, I didn't take the calendar down. I'm glad I didn't. See here, this October last month, and it's gone, y'all. Didn't it go fast? Yeah, in red is what we hit so far. And people hit them threes. So happy I had the threes on the whiteboard. All right. Them triple threes. And we're calling this evenings. I ain't saying play midday and evening, giving you a number and say play at midday and evening. Who got all that kind of money? I know I don't. Not right now anyway. Well, but I I'm all right, believe me. But here you go. It's just everything in red. Not bad. It's on the whiteboard. We still got more on the whiteboard to come. Just by the lower average. And knowing how to make them up. All right, family. Play them till they come. Make that money, y'all. Peace and love. God bless.